Second important topic, what's in front of us right now, and that is Judge Jackson's nomination to be an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. I enthusiastically support the nomination of Judge Jackson. I supported it at a recent committee hearing and our committee vote on Monday. As a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, I have had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with the judge in my office for nearly an hour, and then watching her persevere, that's a good word, through 2 full days of questions. And I know that she is going to be confirmed by the Senate. And by the way, I appreciate the support of every Democrat of her nomination, as well as Senators Collins and Murkowski and Romney. She showed the American people why she is the person to meet this moment in our country's history. She is someone that showed such grace under pressure, as so many people have had to do, by the way, in the last 2 years. She showed herself to be a true person. Someone, when asked about how you balanced work with being a mom, she said, "We're not all perfect. I can't do everything all the time, but I try my best and I love my kids." And she clearly is a shining example of a good mother. She talked about her faith, even under direct, over-the-top questioning by our colleagues. She kept true to her faith and to her values and to her view of a judge, which is to take the facts and the law and make a decision without fear or favor. She showed the American people why she is the person to meet this moment as the first Black woman nominated to the court and only the 6th woman in the history of our country. 115 justices. She is the 6th woman. She will open a door that has been long shut for so many. And she'll do it by virtue of her strong presence, her skills, and her experience. She will show little girls and boys across the country that everything is possible. She was already an inspiration to one 11-year-old girl, that name of Maddie Morgan. I met Maddie's dad when I was on a walk in Washington, D.C. He parked his car, sprung out of his car, and showed me the letter that his daughter had written President Biden when President Biden announced that he was going to make a nomination but didn't reveal who it was and was interviewing candidates. Maddie, this 11-year-old, decided that she would be appropriate for the job. She noted that she would live many more years and so therefore would be the longest serving justice in history. She noted that she could be a voice for kids, and she also noted that she lived very close to the courthouse and she could walk to work all the time. And then when Judge Jackson was announced by President Biden as a nominee, Maddie said this: "If I'm going to be snubbed, it couldn't be for a better candidate." So that a little 11-year-old girl was sitting in the hearing room watching as a woman who is truly an inspiration to her, Judge Jackson, answered question after question. And by the way, I am not surprised by some of our Republican colleagues either supporting Judge Jackson or voicing their belief that she is a qualified person and a smart person and someone who deserves to be nominated, even if they, for other reasons, aren't voting for her. I think they're pretty consistent in saying with the American public that Judge Jackson is qualified. In fact, 2/3 of Americans, according to one recent poll, say Judge Jackson should be confirmed. As we learned during the hearing, Judge Jackson grew up in a family that values public service. Her parents, who I had the chance to meet, started their careers as teachers. And when Judge Jackson's dad set his sights on becoming a lawyer, her mom figured out how to support the family while he attended law school. As a lawyer, she balanced work with parenthood. I appreciated hearing about how Judge Jackson would sit with her dad while he was studying the law books and she was doing a coloring book. She, as someone who has been a federal public defender, the first with that experience, who will be in the room where it happens, but also having many relatives in law enforcement, has a unique perspective of the law and a very important respect for people in law enforcement. Her brother was a police officer who also served in the military. One of her uncles was a detective, and the other uncle was the chief of police for the Miami Police Department. It was from that family of public servants that Judge Jackson set her sights high. After graduating from law school, doing very well there, she was a clerk for Justice Breyer. And then as she heads into this nomination, after 3 votes, this will be her 4th vote in front of this Senate with bipartisan support, she will come to the court with more judicial experience than 4 other justices had when they went on the court. These are current justices. She is the person we need right now. We know that trust in the court has been fading, and so to have someone that has her legal acumen and background, but also to have someone who gets that these decisions aren't just words on a page, that the words on the page and the decisions you make as a judge are connected to real people. They affect whether someone's going to get health care. They affect their own health care choices. They affect if you're going to have clean water or air. And they affect whether or not you can actually vote and how you can vote and when you can vote and if you can vote. She gets it. I appreciated her willingness to take so many questions. We talked about antitrust, a subject true to my heart, as well as the importance of the First Amendment and many other detailed questions that she got. And I know a lot of those questions that got attention were the over-the-top ones, the attacks on her. But nevertheless, the bulk of the questions in that hearing got to true questions about the law and her views and her knowledge of the cases. And she passed every single thing with flying colors. At this critical moment, Judge Jackson had the qualities to make sure that the court and the Constitution, in Justice Breyer's words, work for the people of today. She has a quintessentially American story. And as she put it, her success is a testament to the hope and promise of this country. I urge my colleagues to embrace the hope and promise of Judge Jackson and the hope and promise of this country. Vote for her. Thank you. I yield the floor.